Today I'm making my nan's classic Christmas trifle, the one that's been on our table as long as I can remember. Proper old school, simple layers and tons of nostalgia. This is a proper retro Christmas favourite that has the whole family gathering around for seconds, that's for sure. I hope you're all well, I'm Shane. Welcome back to It's Cooking Good. This really does hold a special place in my heart. I grew up on this trifle and I was fortunate enough that my nan showed me how she made it. Not that it's that complicated, but I was desperate to know how she made it, and thankfully she did show me. And interestingly, this week I'd gone to Sainsbury's to buy the ingredients for this, and there was an elderly lady next to me at the checkouts. And the guy that worked there said, "Oh, what are you making?" They know I've got a YouTube channel. And I said, "Oh, I'm making a trifle." And he said, because I had bananas, I was asking, how do I weigh the bananas? And he said, "Oh, what with bananas?" And the lady chuckled and she goes, "Let me guess, has it got raspberries in it as well?" I said, "Yes, it has. How do you know?" She said, "That's exactly the way I make it and my mum before." So this must have been around a long time. Please do let me know down below. How did your nan make trifle at Christmas? Because everyone seems to have their own little way of doing it, and I'd love to hear how your nan made yours or how you make yours today. Anyway, let's get started. I've got a pan here and we need to heat some water up. Now, when I was a kid, this jelly used to come in little boxes. Now, obviously, it's in these little sort of plastic packaging. And these, I can't read the instructions on the back. If you've ever tried to read that, and you can, without glasses or a magnifying glass, good for you, because I could not read a thing. I had to take a picture of it and enlarge it to see what the quantities were. And it's 285 millilitres of hot water and another 285 millilitres of cold water. So I'm actually doubling up. I'm going to be using 2 packs of jelly for this recipe. So here I've got double the quantity, 570 millilitres of water, and I want to bring that to the boil. So the jelly calls for the same quantity again of cold water, so 570 millilitres of cold water in my instance. But in the recipe my nan used, she always used these tinned raspberries, and they come with a syrup, and I don't want to waste that. So I'm going to use that as part of my cold liquid. I'm just going to pour it through a sieve. We want to save, obviously, and keep those raspberries. We're going to be using those. So let's just drain those off and see how much liquid that yields us. It might. No, we're going to need to top it up with a little bit of cold water. I'm just going to leave that to do its thing until all of that juice is out. So let's just put that to one side for the moment. Of course, trifle, sponge fingers, proper old school again. And I know a lot of people use Swiss roll, which I also do really like, but it is not my nan's recipe. And she liked to soak them in sherry. So we're going to put some sherry in here. Now, I am doing it slightly different to the way my nan did it, because my nan used to put the sponge fingers in the base of the serving bowl and then basically pour over sherry over the top. There was so much sherry in there. Might have been why as a kid I liked it so much. But I'm going to do it slightly less alcoholic today. So you're going to get your sponge fingers and basically roll them in your sherry. So just give them a swill around. I'm going to put a few in at a time. That's it. Just soaking them basically. And just repeat that process until you've got enough to coat the base of your dish. Once your sponge fingers are all coated in the sherry, you just want to lay them on the base of your trifle dish to cover the whole surface area. Or, like me, chuck the whole pack in, because now I'm making this and I love these sponge fingers. So I put the whole pack in there, why not? Next to that are tinned raspberries that we drained off. You spread those around and about. Just keep going so the whole thing is covered. Don't actually get a lot in those tins, to be fair. Not an awful amount of raspberries, but enough for what we want. Let's get all that in there and just spread it out. That's it, that looks good to me. Let's put that to one side. Our water is now boiled, so we can add in our jelly. Love this stuff. I don't know about you. Let me know, again, down below in the comments. I used to just eat this. Literally, I'd sit there and eat cubes of this as much as I could. It was perfect stuff. It's just like, I suppose it's like a old school Haribo. And just chop this up into chunks and straight into that boiling water. That's it, last little bit. That was harder than I thought it was gonna be. And then just using a little whisk, you really want to combine all that together so all of that jelly is nicely melted in that hot water. So our juice over here, from our tin of raspberries, and I'm 170 millilitres short, so I'm going to top that up with 170 millilitres of cold water, and that is ice cold water straight from the fridge. Check on our jelly over here, and that looks good actually. It's pretty much all dissolved. God, that was quick. Straight in with our cold and hope that my saucepan's big enough for it all. That's it, perfectly. And again, incorporate that. Now at this stage, I like to just leave it for about 10 minutes just to cool down a little bit more before I add it into my trifle bowl. And once you're happy that that is cool enough to pour into a glass bowl, I've just put mine into this jug because one, it cools it down a bit quicker, transferring it from one pan to another, but also it's a lot easier to pour. And if you've got some of this left over, which I likely will have, I'm gonna make little individual jellies. I'm spilling more than I'm getting in the bowl at the moment. I like quite a bit of the old jelly. I'd say probably about there. That looks perfect to me, and that will settle. That now needs to go into the fridge to go cool and completely set. And whilst that's doing that, we can crack on and make our custard. So with the custard, it is entirely up to you. If you want an easy method, use an ambrosia or a bird's custard. If you want to make your own, which I'm doing today, this is how I make it. Over the years, my nan used all three methods and they were all equally as delicious. So we need whole milk for this, and I want 700 millilitres. There we go, just about there. And then 200 millilitres of double cream, which is about there. Okay, just bring your pan up to a medium heat and add in your milk and cream. Hey, little fireworks display. That's it. And I just want to bring that up to a simmer. You don't want this to boil. Once your milk and cream mixture has come to a simmer, you need 4 egg yolks, and you want to whisk those together. And to that, I'm going to add 100 grams of caster sugar. Now, I've infused my caster sugar with some vanilla pods, but just use plain if you want. Just keep that going. I'm also going to add a little bit more vanilla, a little bit of vanilla extract. Not too much, that stuff goes a long way. And then to that, I've got some corn flour, 3 tablespoons of corn flour there. This will really thicken this up nicely. We want quite a thick custard for this. Just make sure it is all nicely incorporated. And then to that, we're going to gradually add in our milk and cream, and make sure you continue stirring this the whole time. That's it, all in. Keep stirring it. You then want to return this back to your saucepan. I've just transferred mine into a jug because it's just easier for pouring instead of the bowl. That's it. Lovely, I love that smell of vanilla. And you just want to steadily stir this. Keep stirring it until this thickens up. That's it, look, and you can see that has thickened up beautifully. Hopefully you can see that anyway. Wow, lovely, fresh custard. Let's turn that off. You now need to transfer it into a bowl because we want this to cool down. And the cooler it goes, the thicker it's going to go as well. Get all of that goodness out. Lovely. And then just to stop it getting a film on the top, I put a layer of cling film, just like that. And that will stop you getting that sort of crust on the top that no one wants. And I'm going to leave that now just to cool down before it goes in the fridge, because we want it nice and cold before it goes on that trifle. So for those eagle-eyed viewers, you're absolutely right. This is day 2. I've even put a nice Christmassy style jumper on today. My advice would be, if you are making this, obviously the custard needs to cool and the jelly does need to set. So I tend to do it over 2 days. Alternatively, get yourself up extra early and then you'll probably be able to finish it off later on in the same day. So last step of this, we need to make our cream topping. And here I've got 600 millilitres of double cream. And I've also got a little bit left over from our custard. So I'm going to add that in for good measure as well. So there's probably about 650 millilitres there. And to that, I've got a tablespoon and a half of icing sugar or powdered sugar. And we just want to start to whisk that in until the double cream starts to thicken. And that's starting to come together nicely. I don't want this too thick, but equally, I don't want it too thin. A few more whisks. And that is it. I'm happy with that. Hopefully you can see that consistency there. So our cream is done. Our jelly and sponge fingers are nicely set. Now's the time we're going to start to build this up. So I start with a layer of bananas. This is exactly the way my grandmother used to do it. Something about the bananas and the raspberry, it just works really, really well. Don't know why I'm trying to do it so neatly, because no one's actually going to see it. They're just going to eat it, aren't they? And I'm using 3 bananas here, but I might just use a little bit less. That's probably a good layer there. Next is our lovely custard, and I just want to try it. It's got a lovely looking consistency. Wow, that is absolutely delicious. So I'm going to add a good layer of that on top of our bananas. Now again, if you want to alter the size of the layers, you know, you might like more custard, more jelly. You make it how you like it. This is just the way we used to have it. And I'm not a massive fan of the cream part. So I tend to go light on the cream because I'm a bit selfish like that, and everyone else will just have to go along with it. So there we go. And we're not going to waste that. Actually, do you know what? We'll do it now. Remember yesterday when I made up the jelly, I had some left. And I also do have a couple of people coming over who they don't drink alcohol basically. So I've done 2 jellies here without the sherry bottom there. And actually, I just need to use up the other bits of my banana, give them some banana in there as well, like so. Again, some of that custard on there. Oh, that's it. And on the other one. And any leftover custard will not go to waste, that is for sure. That's that done. And then obviously, lastly, our cream to finish off our layers. That's a nice consistency, exactly what I like anyway. I know everyone's different, everyone has a different preference. You just want to sort of spoon it around, get it to the edges without spilling over the sides of our dish here. Try and make it look nice and presentable. I'll clean up the edges after, it's not a problem. That's it. Obviously our little ones, a little bit in there. Again, the cream will keep for a good 3 days. So, you know, if you don't use it all now, you can use it with your mince pies or any other sort of dessert that you're making. I'm just going to spoon a little bit on like that, and then I'll finish it off. Get rid of that. There we go. 2 non-alcoholic versions. I probably put too much on there. Gives me a chance to try it. That's it. Always reminds me, I think that was the idea with the trifle, is, you know, like a Christmas cake. It's like a snow scene on the top. When I was a kid, I always used to think, why haven't you put the little, you know, the little figurines on the top of the trifle as well? You know, the little Santa Claus and his sleigh and the tree. And sorry, I can't talk. Okay, let's finish this off. Hundreds and thousands. Now, we always had hundreds and thousands, but all I can find are hundreds and thousands dots. They're like little balls. It used to be they were sort of like oblong-y shape, not oblong, like a tablet shape, if you remember them. Let me know down in the comments, have you seen them? I found them online, but all of the major supermarkets, they've moved to these little balls. So please, let me know down in the comments, where can I buy the old school hundreds and thousands? Right, so we're gonna get some of those on the top, of course. Got to keep these away from Imogen, my daughter. She'll have just chugged the whole lot. So again, on our smaller ones, nice little drizzle there, and they're going everywhere. And then to that, we always had some flaked almonds. Again, it's all so personal, isn't it? I'm sure in your family, you probably had a totally different recipe, but this is the way we do it. And then the final ingredient, which is some nice fresh raspberries, just all the way round the edge of your trifle. Adds a really nice colour to the top, makes it look a little bit more festive. And fresh raspberries, although not in season, are still very much available. And get that. Put another one there. Don't want to overcrowd it. That's it. And obviously for our non-alcoholic guests, we're going to put some on there as well. Like so. It's actually quite fun to make. I find it quite therapeutic. As you know, if you've watched the channel before, I'm not really a dessert or baking type person. It's not something I do a lot of. But actually when I do, really do enjoy it. And I have to say, I really enjoy looking at the end result. So there we have it. My 2 mini non-alcoholic trifles and my huge Nan's sherry trifle. Oh, cannot wait to tuck into this. So let's dig in to the sherry one. I'm just going to take a little piece out. Obviously, I've got to do a taste test on this. It's a shame almost to ruin the top, but what can you do, eh? It's got to be eaten. Get some of that lovely jelly and sponge from the bottom. That icing sugar in the cream works an absolute treat. Really sweetens it up nicely. I'll try it. I'm hoping it's not too sweet for the rest of it, but I'm pretty sure it will be good. Let's give it a go. Oh, that's so good. It just reminds me of my dear Nan. It really does. That taste, some of you will know it. You'll have a taste from your childhood that will evoke a memory. And for me, this just evokes lovely, happy times around the Christmas table. It just never fails to disappoint. It is so, so good. I know, as I said before, everyone has their own combinations. For me, that combination, the raspberry jelly, the sherry, the bananas, the fresh raspberries, the flaked almonds, the hundreds of thousands, all of it, and that homemade custard, it just brings it together so, so well. And it is, for me, a massive spoonful of history. And I wouldn't change it for the world. Fantastic. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this one. I really do appreciate you watching, but that is it from me for today. If you're new to the channel and you like the content, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Please do also like, share and comment. Let me know, as I said, have your family got their own recipe for trifle? I'd love to hear from you. Let me know the little tweaks and hints and tips that you use in your trifle. And let me know also about the hundreds and thousands. Coming on Friday of this week is my chocolate hazelnut meringue stack. Yes, it is. It's another dessert and it is a real showstopper and easier to make than you might think. I'll put all of the details of my Nan's sherry trifle down below in the description as always. And all that's left for me to say is until next time, it's cooking good.